Hey friends, this is Lisa from This Pilgrim Life, and I am inviting you into my sewing workshop this evening. Now that it's Christmas, after the kids go down, I'll pretty much be here many nights sewing and making gifts, wrapping presents, things like that. And tonight I am working on a toddler purse. It's a gift for one of my family members, and I wanted to show you a little bit of the project. It's a really simple project, but I know that seeing somebody else do it can be really helpful too. So I've already started the project. I got started earlier, and you can find the tutorial for this on my blog. There are step-by-step instructions with pictures. So if you watch the video and think that this is something that you would like to do as well, I will link to the tutorial in the comment section, and you can follow it step by step. It would be a great project for beginning sewers, even young children, or teenagers or whatnot. Kids who are interested in sewing could follow this tutorial too. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how it's done. Now, like I said, I got started on it earlier. So what you're looking at, this is actually the outside of the bag, and it's turned inside out, right sides together, and that's how you will get started sewing. And so your first step, which I've already done, like I said, is to cut out two rectangles, 8 by 7, and you're going to attach the interfacing. This is what this is right here. This is called interfacing, and all it does is just give a little bit more weight and structure to your bag, and you just iron it on. It's really simple. And then also, if you can see inside, another step that I did earlier is just to attach this. There's a little picture of a little girl on the front, and so you attach that with something called Wonder Under, and it's basically just iron-on adhesive, and so you attach it to the front of your bag. And so that's all that I've done so far, and I've done what's called boxing the edges, which is what makes this bag stand up nice and straight. So this is a bag that I made for my daughter when she was about 15 months old, and so it's the perfect little purse for a toddler because it's just open and it doesn't close or flop around, so it's just great for them to carry around and put things in. Really, really simple. So any young child, a little girl turning 1, 2, or even 3 could use a purse like this. So I will get started now. Like I said, this is the outside of the bag, and I'm going to show you the steps to make the inside of the bag are exactly the same. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. So this is a rectangle 8 by 7, and what I'm going to do, I have 2 of them, and I'm going to lay them right sides together like this. Now you can pin it, but I don't really think it's going anywhere. I'm going to sew around the outer edges, and I'm going to sew it with a 5/8 seam. So when you sewed the outer part of the bag, you sewed it with a 1/2 inch seam, and so you're sewing the inside of the bag so that it's a little bit smaller, which will make it fit inside the bag better. So like I said, right sides together. I'm just going to sew quickly around all 3 sides with a 5/8 inch seam. You want to back stitch right as you get started. And then just go all the way around. So I would love to hear from you if you are making any Christmas gifts this year. Christmas making gifts is one of my favorite things. Of course, I buy a lot of my kids' gifts, but I really enjoy trying to make what I can. So if you're making something, let me know. It'd be fun to share that. So now what you have is the lining of your bag. So you can see it just like this. Okay, the right sides are together. And what you're going to do is box the bottom of the bag. And again, that's what makes it stand up. So you're going to find your bottom seam and your side seam, and you're going to pinch it so that they line up. Okay, so if you look on the inside of your bag right here, you can see where the bottom seam and the side seam are lined up together. You want to make sure that those are right in line, and you're going to pinch it like this. So you're making a triangle on the bottom of the bag, and you're going to sew a line perpendicular to the triangle, just like this, straight across right here. And that's going to give you a nice boxed edge. So I'm going to find the corner right here. It's not where the end of the fabric is, but where you can actually feel the corner. And you're just going to sew an inch from that corner. Make sure your seams are still lined up together, and sew across an inch. And you're going to do that on both sides. And that's going to give you that boxed bottom, which will help the purse to stand up. So you see, after you do that, it's just a short little stitch. Then your purse will actually stand up. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side. I'm going to pinch it and kind of pull it tight so that the seams match. I'm going to check it on the inside. Find the corner, measure about 1 inch from the corner, and sew across. Okay, so now I have the lining of my bag, just like this, and I have the outside of my bag. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this right side out. The lining will stay just like it is, so just turn it right side out. Press it with your fingers so that the corners come out. You can see the cute little picture of the girl on the front. And that's a super easy way to do decals or to do appliques, is just find a fabric that you like, that you think is cute, and cut out the picture and iron it on the front with, it's called Wonder Under, and it's just an iron-on adhesive. So now I'm going to press, set this down and place my lining inside the purse, just like this, matching the side seams. And now you have the majority of your purse done. You have this cute little lining inside and the front. Okay, so now the next step is to finish the top of the bag. So what you're going to do is you're going to just fold the edge of the bag in about half an inch. Okay, so you see I'm going to do that on both sides. Now you can use an iron to fold it in. And then once you get it folded in, you're going to pin it all the way across. So I'm going to, I'll kind of switch you right here. Let's see if I can turn it so you can see my iron. And all I'm going to do is go around and fold that in. About a half an inch in. Basically just the same amount for the lining and the outside fabric. So I'm just doing the outside fabric first, and then I will go back and do the lining. And with such a small bag, this really can come together very quickly. Okay, so now I have the outside, and and I'm going to just go around and fold the inside in as well. I'm just going to pull it out a little bit so that it's easier to iron. Let's go ahead and pull it out all the way. And you're just trying to press it down, iron it as much as you did the outside, so that they'll line up. Okay, and then you can kind of just use your fingers to pull it tight and give it one more press, and then that part is done. So I'm going to put it back in here. And one thing you can do, now you could just sew it right across the top and close that, close the opening up, and that would be just fine. But another thing that you can do is use piping, and that gives it just a more professional, more finished look. So that's what I'm going to do. And I like to even make my own piping when I can, because you'll notice in the store your choices are kind of limited. But if you make your own piping, you can use whatever you want. And so I'm going to show you how. This is I've just got it started. So in the tutorial, you'll see to cut a piece of fabric 16 by 3 inches long. You're going to fold it in half and press it. And then to make your own piping, all you're doing is you're taking this strip of fabric and you're putting a piece of cord in it. And you're going to sew it all the way down. And when you put it in your bag, that part will come out. Now, if you look at book bags and other bags, a lot of times they'll have this, this piping, and it just gives it a nice finished look. So, like I said, all it is just this piece of fabric, 3 inches, folded in half with that cord in the middle, and I'm just going to sew it straight down. You're going to try to keep your needle tight against the cording. Okay, find my pen. Okay. And your fabric doesn't have to be lined up perfectly, because you're going to have all that excess down in the bag where you won't be able to see it. You just want to try to get that cording tight. Okay, so now you have piping, and that's all that part is. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to tuck your piping down in between your fabric. You're going to sandwich it just like this all around your bag and pin it. Now I won't show you all of that. It's pretty simple. You're sandwiching this piping in between your interior, your lining fabric, and your exterior fabric, so that basically all that is sticking out is this cording, is the hard part. Okay, and you're gonna just pin it all the way around, and you get just this really nice look to the top of your bag. Now the last thing you're going to do, and I'll just go ahead and show you this. This is going to be the handle, and this was a piece of fabric. This one is 3 inches, and you can see I've already pressed it. It has one strip of interfacing in the middle, and then this one piece is folded a little bit in so that it'll give you a nice finished edge. And you're going to sew right down there. You can use a decorative stitch. When I made one for my daughter, I did a stitch with hearts on it, and it was just really cute. So however you want, a decorative stitch or just a plain stitch. And then after you do that, you're just going to tuck it in the sides of your purse. So you've got your piping in there. You're going to tuck this in, And then the last thing that you do, all you have to do at this point is just sew around the top of your bag. And that's going to attach your handles and your piping. And then you have a cute toddler purse. Okay? And once you figure that out, you can probably knock one of these out in 30 minutes. Super cute idea for a little girl. Would make a great Christmas present, or even a great birthday present, or anytime. So I will link to that tutorial, and if you have any questions, as always, let me know. And check out thispilgrimlife.com for a lot of other Christmas projects, gift ideas, and tutorials. And I hope that you have a great night, and I will see you back again tomorrow.